Hey, so I just came back from watching The Sadness 2021 from I think it's from Taiwan. Uh, Fucking insane movie. The intro that they gave at Beyond Fest was yeah, just gonna be the most insane thing ever. He said like the whole thing is a trigger warning. Like there's no you can't give it really a trigger warning because the whole thing is just so fucked up. Um, yeah, so basically um, one of the main like conflicts or driving subplot is that this guy is trying to rape this girl, and so he's because he's infected and everything. If you've ever read the Crossed series of comics, you'll know what to expect from this. The Crossed series is an American comic, so I don't think it influenced them. I don't know. I doubt that they've translated those comics over there. That one, I really doubt it. But if you've read those comics, you like the movie. If you like the movie, you'll like those comics because it's the same kind of thing. The idea is that there's a virus that makes people go crazy, but that all their like sexual uh, drives and desires gets unleashed as well. Um, so a lot of fucked up sex stuff. Because I mean, we've gone as far as we can with violence. The next thing is sex. They're gonna make it as perverted and fucked up with that as possible. Um, and I mean, that's not a bad thing. I thought everybody was like having fun with it in the theater. Although in the theater, there were a few people that would just laugh at references to a virus. Like it's funny because it references COVID. Like I guess these people grew up on Family Guy and their brains are mush because references aren't in themselves humor. Okay? To make something comedic, you have to have a punchline or some kind of satirical message. You know, there has to be some sort of subtext that makes it witty. You know, just being like, oh, people should wear their masks because virus. It's not funny. Um, anyway, yeah, there was a lot of that stupid cracking up in the beginning, uh, which was stupid, which was irritating as well. But in the second half, when all hell breaks loose, then you can laugh and just talk to the screen or whatever. People do that. Uh, what else? I noticed too with like the most like extreme parts, they don't really show it. Even yeah, they don't really show it, which I I don't know. Not saying you want to see that stuff, but like um, I don't know. I felt like there would be a few more creative ways to portray it than just staying on the guy's face, or you know what I mean? Because that's pretty much all they did with that one, with the most extreme scene. They just stayed on the guy's face, and I'm like, that's the least interesting angle of the whole picture that they could have picked. They could have done like a wide shot where you don't really see anything, but you kind of see it, but it's far away and everything is obscuring it. That would have been better. Um, Pretty much anything else would have been better in my opinion than the guy's face. Um, it sounds like I'm critiquing a porn or something. Same thing with porn. I don't want to see the guy's face. Just show everything else. I don't want to see that. Um, and then yeah, um, there's a few good creepy parts in the end of the beginning, leading up to all the madness and stuff that were really well done. Um, there's one or two shots where I was like that, where the face thing was just like, ah, don't do that, don't do that, do something else. Like, there's a bit where this person's like, I don't want if I say what the person says, it'll ruin the thing. But the problem is that the surprise was ruined because of the shot. So okay, somebody says something, which prompts, which is like answered in the next shot where somebody um, has something. Okay, but the thing is, they don't. It doesn't catch you by surprise because they show they cut to a close up of where the thing is going to hit, and it's like, oh, okay, something's going to happen to this thing. Obviously, it's going to get hit. So you see it coming in a split second before it actually happens, and it ruins the whole shock that they're trying to go for. If you want it to be shocking, stay in a wide shot, have the person say the thing. You're distracted because you're looking over there because the person says the thing, like the victim was in the scene. You're distracted by that, and then wham, boom, it gets hit, and then you don't see that coming, and that would be more shocking instead of going and then cutting to a close up of the thing that's about to get hit. Like, why would you do that? I guess it looked good on paper. But yeah, that ruined the effect. Yeah, my that was the only, like, those things were the only issues with it. It's written. Oh, and the ending is like, I don't know if they just ran out of money or something because they ended with sounds. All right, spoilers. Okay, well, I won't give any spoilers. I'll just say it ended with a sound effect. I want to see what the sound effect is. But it ended with a sound effect, and I'm like, did something happen to them? Like, I guess they wanted it to be like, they could say that they wanted to leave it up to your imagination as to what happened to them, but like Night of the Living Dead didn't do that. Thank God. Night of the Living Dead, they showed what the fuck happened to the survivors, even the last one, on the next day. Show what happens to the fucking survivors. Okay? We're sticking with them the entire fucking movie. I want to know what happens to them. So that was annoying. I think we deserve to like have to know, to see what happens to them, not just hear some sound effect, some canned sound effect. That's lame, dude. Don't do that. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? What else? Okay, so it's basically 28 Days Later, but with sex. So that pretty much sums it up. Yeah. It's okay. It's a good movie. I'd give it like maybe a 4 out of 5. It's like so close to being really awesome, but like a few things with the directing and editing, I feel like hold it back a little bit. There's also like a few points that don't really quite hit that thing that I mentioned earlier. Um, like there's a point where the press conference and it's supposed to feel like they cut to like this really epic soundtrack and it goes into slow motion and I'm like, that's cool, but it's not really earned. This scene isn't as epic and powerful as it might have been with some more build up, because it just goes to, oh, one of them is infected. We don't know how he got infected. Just conveniently happened to turn right then when they were broadcasting. And then he does this thing. It's, I mean, not the most twisted thing in the world. It's actually kind of tame. Although the ending explosion was nice. But like the lead up and everything, I was just like, alright, I'm with you, but it's not quite earned. It's like, sure, I'll follow along, but I'm not like, yeah, it's that kind of a thing. If that makes any sense. Does that make any sense? Alright, anyway. Maybe you would enjoy this movie more if you were drunk or something. Because, yeah, it's like one of those. It's a B movie that is dressed up and looks like an A movie. The gore effects are all top notch. The infected look is really top notch. Because the interesting thing is, At first, I thought it was like the whole eye is black, but it's just a huge sclera, a huge pupil. Like the pupil just dilated past like any sense of normalcy, which makes sense to the whole thing. And the reason that the movie's called The Sadness is because they're constantly crying, and scientists theorizes that that's because they're sad about what they're doing to people and themselves and everybody, but they can't help it, so they're just crying. That's the theory anyway. Uh, yeah. Good movie. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. All right. See you.